Hello, my name is Isaiah, and I love cars. Hello everybody, it is PreludeBoy99, and today we're looking at the Hot Wheels Elite 64 1967 Ferrari 330 P4. I literally had a stream a few days ago. I mentioned that this car was going to come out in the near future, and apparently I'm a fortune teller because it came out 2 days after. So now we're going to talk about it, and the first thing I'm going to say is, I love it, no FOMO. What does that mean? What is this phrase that I'm coining? It's pretty much to show that I love what they're doing, but I'm not going to give in to FOMO. I'm not going to stress out about this. I am going to support this product because I like this product. I like what they're doing. I want to vote with my wallet, and I would like to pick one up. If I don't pick one up, it's just going to end there. I'm not going to purchase one from a scalper, and I'm not even going to go to a reseller to pick this one up. I'm just going to accept the reality of the situation, and the fact is, I just couldn't get one. If that's what happens to me, if there is some other weird phenomenon or anomaly in which I purchase it and then they cancel it, or like I purchase it and then 3 days later they cancel it, then I'm going to have a problem with it. I'm going to be upset, rightfully so. But we all know the rules of the game. You're either first or you're last. Early bird gets the worm, and nothing is guaranteed until after you purchase and you check out. But even then, there's issues can happen. But we'll get into that a little bit later. I don't want to get into that right now. So I'm not buying this because this is a Ferrari. I'm buying this because I'm a huge fan of the movie Ford v Ferrari, and I like the McLaren, the Elite 64 McLaren that they came out with, the orange one. I think having this alongside with it is going to look beautiful, especially with the Ford GT Mark II. So I'm a huge fan of vintage racing. I grew up watching Speed Racer, and Speed Racer is the Japanese vintage racing. So this car, it does all the right things for me. So let's take a look. One thing that I do like is the wheels. These wheels are unique to the casting. I always appreciate that. The body looks really well done. You have lensed headlights and lensed taillights. Another win in my book. It has a detailed interior. As you can see right here, very detailed. This is very well crafted. You have the spare tire in the back, and also has an opening hood so that you can see I believe it's a V12 engine. I'm not entirely sure. But this is a historical piece. And it's funny that nobody gave a damn about Elite 64 until they came out with this Ferrari. I mean, before there was the Cascadia, and people cared about that, but they didn't really care about the other products. You can go back to my earliest videos when I started taking Hot Wheels more seriously. When I bought my first Elite 64, I praise Elite 64. I love Elite 64. I bought their products. I think this is the future that Hot Wheels needs to go in order to be more competitive with all these other third-party diecast brands. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I think Elite 64 is one of the best things that Hot Wheels has done in a long time. I think this is better than RLC. A lot of the complaints with RLC is fixed with Elite 64. You have unique wheels. You have unique wheels. You have lens, headlights, and taillights. You have really good detail. There's so much to love with the Elite 64, and it is true 164. So, I really, really like this casting. I think it's well done, and I want to vote with my wallet. So, this should go without saying, this is going to be a very, very hyped product, unfortunately, because again, it's a Ferrari. People love Ferraris, and like I said in my live stream, I am afraid of the consequences that this car presents, or just the brand in general, because, right now with JDM, 9 times out of 10, when RLC comes out with a JDM car, it sells out within a day, maybe a week. The RX-7 is an exception because the engine isn't done so well. Now that we have Ferrari licensing back, I don't like the consequences of having this being bought out immediately and then being sold on eBay or secondhand sites for quadruple the price, maybe $100. I don't know. I don't want that to happen. I think everyone has a right to enjoy this. I don't think this should just go to the people who know how to program bots. You know what I'm saying? I think we can all agree that scalpers, they're not good for the hobby. I think that's fair to say. I don't think I'm going to get a lot of pushback when I say that. So, I also want to say that this particular car, this Elite 64, this is not a rare car. I guarantee you, after the sale, you're going to see hundreds of these things floating on eBay from scalpers. Please, please, please. And I'm asking as a content creator, not as an influencer. I would like for you guys to be patient when these things go on eBay, and if it sells out and if you miss out, just be patient. That's all I really want to say. That's my advice. You're free to do whatever you want with your money, as long as it makes you happy. I'm happy for you, But one thing that I have learned is to be patient in this hobby. That is one of the best things that you can do if you miss out on a sale, is to be patient and to wait to see how the market is influenced. Because the Team Transport Ferrari, I remember when that was announced, people bought all the cases and they were trying to sell them for like $80, $100. And when people finally were able to get them in their hands, everyone had them. So there was no point in trying to scalp them. So they had to decrease the selling price from $100 to $40. Mind you, that is expensive. $40 for Team Transport is expensive. It's more than double the retail price. However, the price went down and it got cheaper. So I don't know how many of these things that Mattel has made. I don't want to freak anyone out. I don't want anyone to panic. But I can confidently say that they have made more than what RLC has been producing. I can say that with confidence that with the Elite 64, they made a lot more than RLC. I feel like I can say that with confidence. If you really want this, again, the early bird gets the worm. If you're not first, you're last. Be prepared. Have everything set up if you really want to get this. If you don't get it, don't worry. Just be patient. Wait it out. The market is constantly fluctuating. You also don't need a membership for this, and I don't see a limit. So that's also something to be wary of. Try to get what you can. I'm going to try to get one. If I don't get one, then I'm just going to accept it. And yeah, I'm just going to move on with my day. Before we leave, I do want to look on eBay for a third-party option for the Ferrari 330 P4. That's something that I do here on the channel if you're new. I typically like to look at other options because this is at a $22 price point. I think this is an extremely affordable price point compared to other third-party diecast brands like Pop Race or Mini GT, NO64. $22 for Elite 64, that's not bad. That's actually pretty good. And this isn't just a premium either. Again, you have lens, headlights, and taillights. You have a detailed interior, and you have an engine bay. You have custom wheels. This isn't Real Riders wheels that's been recycled in RLC. This is a this is a unique casting, because I believe they retooled it. This is a casting that was used years ago, and they retooled it. But this thing is great. I'm voting with my wallet because I want Hot Wheels to do more stuff like this. And I have been voting with my wallet with Elite 64. I just bought 3 Elite 64s the other day when they were doing that sale, and I got free shipping. So we're going to look at third-party options. Okay, so we are on eBay right now, and as you can see, there's not a whole lot of options for third-party. There are some Neo Kyosho, I believe that's how it's pronounced. You have some of those. I don't believe there's... Oh, it's one, I believe this is one that you can build. So there's that, but it doesn't have like the opening hood. Or bonnet, I should say. And there's some that are very detailed, like this one, for example, 23. This one's really detailed. It has... Actually, this one looks pretty good. Really good for $56. But it's not at the $20 price point. Of course, we do have a lot of the basics. But let's say you're not a fan of the livery. You could get a basic one, like a basic colored Ferrari. This one. That's a 164 Kyosho. $40. So about double the price, but you have more realistic wheels. This is way more realistic than Elite 64. So I want to highlight another big problem that I see with this eBay site, is that there's 2 sellers already selling pre-orders. I think that is a big problem that I wish eBay would handle or do something about. Because this tells me that they already have bots. They're kind of self-incriminating themselves. I don't know how many of these they're going to buy, but they're already selling it at double the price. So, you know, unfortunately, there's nothing we can really do about that. I just think that it sucks that, you know, this thing just got announced today, and already people are selling pre-orders or they're scalping it, I should say. They're not really selling pre-orders, they're scalping it for over double the price amount. I think that is just evil, if I'm being completely honest with you. It's just, instead of just letting people be able to buy it at retail price, you're gonna take advantage of them and step on them and say, hey, I'm gonna take all the stock and I'm gonna resell it at double the value. I think that's kind of scummy, but again, that's the hobby that we love. It's stuff like this, and it's really unfortunate. Honestly, I think this is a really good casting, a really good model, and there's a lot of value for just $22 for this thing. I think there's a lot of value for it. Is it perfect? There are some things that I'm looking at that I think could be improved. For example, the wheels. The wheels look great from a distance, but when you look up, it just kind of looks like a blob where the centering cap is. But anyways, let me know what you guys think of this particular casting. I am going to try to get one, and so that way I can review it on the channel. I already bought 3 other Elite 64s. I really wish I would have waited before buying those Elite 64s, so that way I can pick this one up. Like I said in previous videos, I think Elite 64 is the best line that Hot Wheels has done in a long time. I think they can, if they keep going with Elite 64, I think it's going to be more popular than RLC. The issue with RLC is that it is way more expensive, but it's not as detailed as an Elite 64. It's Spectraflame paint and a lot of blobs in the engine bay, which is frustrating. But this looks good. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.